You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hey folks, it's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, there are things that makes official. Welcome to 16 years, 2,500 episodes of the Chris Voss Show, because we had nothing better to do but entertain you, make you smarter, share the wonderful stories of life to uplift you, give you blueprints on how to solve all your life's problems. If you go on, I'm pretty sure, actually, come to think of it, 16 years, 2,500 episodes, there is probably an episode for how to solve every problem in life on the Chris Voss Show. You think that's possible, Dennis? Is that possible? I don't know.
I'm unfortunately not well acquainted enough with the portfolio.
We'll have him as a new fan, but I mean, somebody count how many problems anyone can have in the world? Is 2,500 the max? I don't know. I'll have to ask some people. Anyway, guys, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Facebook.com/Chris Voss, and YouTube.com/Chris Voss. There's a lot of Chris Voss in there. What the hell is that about? Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Hey, guys, we have an amazing young man on the show. We're going to be talking to him about his company, Prolific Machines, his entrepreneurial journey, how he became one, how he is one, and what he hopes to do with that. And maybe, he can give you some inspiration, too, on how to become one as well. Dr. Dennis Kent, Dennis with a Z, by the way, if you Google it, is a co-founder and chief executive officer of Prolific Machines, a photomolecular biology innovator ushering in a new era of biotechnology using a light, I say. I don't know why I make a big deal of that. Prolific it is actually cool though. Prolific harnesses light to produce everyday essentials more efficiently, from food and life-saving drugs to novel bio solutions. The Bay Area company's first of its kind platform delivers unprecedented control, precisely guiding cellular behavior where and when it matters most. Unlike existing tools used to control biology, they use technology that unlocks direct and dynamic control over virtually any cellular function in any cell type. This is starting to scare me a little bit. Am I okay? The company enables innovators across pharmaceuticals, nutritional, and therapeutic proteins and cellular agriculture to unlock robust efficiency, quality, reproductivity. Wait, can this help me with my ED? And sustainability advantages.
We can talk about what's scaring you, Chris. Maybe I can help.
I don't know. It's big. It's the big words. I flunked second grade. Anyway, welcome to the show, Dennis. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
This is, computers that can communicate through light with AI. What could go wrong? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. You tell me.
We're not building AGI, machines that can become sentient and pose an existential risk for humanity. What we're building is a system where machines and cells can communicate with each other. And the reason why we want to build that is because cells can make a lot of useful things, from the food that we eat to the medicines that we consume to the materials that we use in our houses, the fuels that we use in our cars. Cells are basically everywhere and also nowhere because we can't see them individually. We are ourselves just big bags of cells. But
that's my pickup line on
the big bag of cells.
Just a big bag of cells, baby. Sign up on Tinder now.
I mean, it's true. And up until now, we haven't had ways for machines and cells to communicate with each other. Yeah. And we've been building something that allows that to happen for the first time. And yeah.
Now,
hopefully it'll be useful.
Now, we got your .com in there. Did we get your .com? I can't remember. We've been having fun.
The .com? You mean prolificmachines.com?
Yes. Is there a dash in there?
There is a dash in there, yeah.
So prolific-machines.com. So you can look this up. Now, why'd you start this company? What was the proponent? Were you guys just sitting around going, hey, I wonder if we can make machines talk over light, eh? Like really high or something, and we can make this work.
So I'm a scientist by training, and during my PhD, one of my colleagues showed me a remote control mouse. Oh. And this mouse had a laser in its brain, and by shining a light in different parts of its brain, you could control the behavior of the mouse. So you could make it eat or not eat, or fuck or not fuck, or turn left in a maze. And this was my first exposure to the field of optogenetics.
Wow.
And
I know some husbands that might want this to take long.
And after when I remember looking at that mouse, like with a combination of awe and terror, being like, "What the hell is this?" And basically, the idea of being able to convert electrons into specific biochemical cascades has just not left my brain since.
Wow.
So people were using it as a research tool. And at the time, I was very interested in biomanufacturing for climate applications. And it was kind of dawning on me that all of the reasons why optogenetics is such a good research tool are also the reasons why it's an excellent manufacturing tool. And 7 years ago, nobody was using optogenetics in biomanufacturing. And so I basically had this as my side hustle for a while. And then eventually it turned into a company. I was designing the world's first optogenetic bioreactors and the world's first optogenetic stem cells. And basically the idea is like, can we have cells that can not only be grown with light, but also controlled with light to make all the things that we want, but at a environmental burden that is significantly less than having to grow a whole organism, and being able to do stuff with cells that we currently can't do, like making amazing new drugs that can cure us of our ailments, or making tissues for people that need new tissues. There's a lot that can be done with cells that would improve the human condition. And I'm motivated about using biomanufacturing to do that.
Oh, wow. This is really crazy. And I guess this technology is fairly new. Is that?
Well, it's kind of simultaneously very new and very old. So the original inventors of this technology are not human. They are bacteria. And they invented the technology long before humans existed, many billions of years ago.
Wow.
And bacteria basically invented these proteins inside them that change shape when you hit them with light. And that shape change then triggers a biochemical cascade inside the bacteria. And that is useful for bacteria because they needed to be able to regulate themselves to the sun.
Wow.
And since then, algae stole it from bacteria, plants then stole it from algae. And so it's all over nature. Every plant has these light-sensitive proteins. And if you ever wonder why your plants grow towards your windows, obviously it's because that's where the sun is. But why does that actually happen? It happens because there are these proteins in the plant that change shape when you hit them with light, and then that triggers the plant to move towards the window. So basically, what we do is we take this ancient mechanism and we attach these light-sensitive proteins to things that we want to control inside of cells. So different proteins inside of cells can be tagged with these light-sensitive proteins, and then we can switch them on and off and tune them to different levels by shining different colors and intensities of light on the cells. And basically built a toolkit where you can make cells do whatever you want at extremely low cost and extremely high precision.
Wow. So is this like, what do they call that when the plants convert, the photoleic or photo?
Yeah, you're thinking of photosynthesis. This is not photosynthesis.
Not photosynthesis.
Although they both do use light, so they're similar.
It was close.
So photosynthesis uses light to make energy, and in our systems we don't use light to make energy because we're growing mammalian cells. We use glucose or sugar for energy.
Some people more than others.
The light is used as a signal, so the light tells the cells what to do.
Well, that's pretty wild, man. Now, so could this put DoorDash out of business by making me pizzas just at will? I just be like, hey, make me a sell pizza, put it together, and I think how much money you could save in DoorDash.
In theory, every home could have a bioreactor where you are growing the cells that you want. So we could like, and this is not what we're doing today for clarity, but we're just dreaming together here, Chris.
Okay.
Like you could have a bioreactor in your home that you can load different cells in. So this is a bluefin tuna day. You load in some bluefin tuna cells. It grows you up some bluefin tuna. It's like, this is a Wagyu day. You load in some Wagyu cells. It'll make you a Wagyu burger. That is entirely feasible scientifically. It is not the business model that we currently have. But,
so what is the business model you guys are using for this?
Currently, what we're doing is providing manufacturing services to people who have drugs that they want to manufacture with this technology. So we're a pharmaceutical service provider, but that's kind of like, that's where we found product market fit, but it is just one slice of a much larger vision.
Yeah.
We're trying to go.
Any drug cartels reach at you? Maybe it's an easier way to make cocaine or something. I'm asking for a friend.
We do not have any drug cartels as customers right now.
If you ever get any weird knocks at the door at night, don't answer. Anyway,
we make protein therapeutics. So
now, can this lower the cost of, like, say, drugs or drug making, so that maybe I can save $5 on the $10,000 penicillin a pill you have to take?
Yeah, so it can dramatically lower the cost of drugs, and specifically it's lowering the cost of the most expensive drugs, which are what's called biologics, so drugs that are made with cells, and those can come in many different flavors. But the most commonly used ones are they're called monoclonal antibodies. So these are basically the proteins that exist in your immune system that are now being repurposed to treat things that are non-infectious. So you can use these monoclonal antibodies to treat cancer, to treat autoimmune disease, a whole bunch of things. But they are exorbitantly expensive because the tools that we have to control cells today are not very good. So by switching to these more advanced machine controllable tools, we can dramatically reduce the cost of protein therapeutics or gene therapies, and this will democratize access to our best drugs. And
really?
I think that'll be a good thing.
Democratizing access to drugs, especially if you can maybe make your own penicillin at home or something. I don't know, or cocaine. Depends on if you live in Denver or not, I guess.
So some drugs are made via chemical synthesis, which are not the ones that we make. Those are already the ones that we make are the ones that are made by growing cells. So like protein therapeutics or gene therapies. You could cannabis is just made out of the cells too.
Yeah.
So that is not what we're doing right now, but you could absolutely grow cannabis cells in a bioreactor if you wanted to.
Really? So what's the vision for this? If you want to project me into the perfect future, however many years this takes, maybe you want to tell me how many years that might take. Where could this become something maybe could change the lives of everyday users? Do I get one of these bioreactors next to my espresso machine or my microwave, or how does that work?
So the ultimate goal is anyone who wants to make something with cells can use our technology as the infrastructure to do that. Right now, the customers are businesses, not people directly. So it's more likely that you would interact with it indirectly via a company. So like a company that you buy drugs from, or a supermarket that you buy food from, or that's going to be the first way that people interact with this. But then eventually, it is possible that people could have bioreactors in their own homes. And, it's kind of interesting because this all sounds and feels very new, but biomanufacturing, this field has actually been around for a very, very long time. So thousands and thousands of years. In fact, we have ancient archaeological evidence of the Roman Empire doing biomanufacturing to make condiments. We have ancient evidence of the ancient Chinese empires from 4,000, 6,000 years ago using biomanufacturing to make beer and bread and wine and even meat. So it's kind of new technology, but it's also technology that's been with us the entire way.
Could you make like dinosaurs and woolly mammoths and shit from DNA?
Yeah, you can make anything made out of cells, which is a lot of things.
Yeah. How can I make a new girlfriend? Asking for a friend.
In theory, yes. But in practice, a whole human is a degree of complexity that is too far for our technology today.
All right.
But I think we are moving towards a world where we can grow whole tissues and pattern them with light. So we could, I think within maybe 10 years or 20 years, within our lifetimes, we'll be able to make tissues and organs. And that is a stepping stone to the girlfriend that you want.
Cool. Replaceable parts too. You know? That's what I've always wanted. I mean, like, how come I can call Chevy and get a new alternator, but I can't get a new kidney? What the fuck?
Well, that's what we're trying to solve.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
I think in the future you will be able to grow. We'll be able to take some Chris Voss cells from you, and we'll be able to grow out your cells specifically in a bioreactor, and then we'll be able to pattern them to make a kidney or a liver or a lung or whatever it is that you want.
Did you hear that, kid? Honey, it's going to be a while before I can make a new girlfriend, so just pack your bags and get ready. That's all. Well, this is pretty interesting, and I've never heard of this field before. I know, we talk a lot about AI. Is AI going to help it advance faster, maybe? Because AI is making everything just start with the world.
Yeah, so the AI is important. It's basically there's three parts to this, right? You need some sensors in the cells to tell you what's going on, and then you need some intelligence to process all of that data. Typically, that has been done with human intelligence, but there's a bunch of problems with using humans. And then you need a way to go back to the cells to do the bidirectional communication, and that part we do with light. So is basically the way that we use it is to automate the bioprocess controller. So basically have all of the sensor data go into this algorithm. The algorithm crunches all the numbers, and then it makes predictions on what is the best intensity, wavelength, and duration of the light to apply to get to a certain target. And that target could be, we want to make Chris a kidney, or we want, more drugs, or we want a Wagyu burger. Like right now, what we're using it for is to make drugs, like protein therapeutics.
Wow.
And viruses.
Wow. Now you said that the computers can talk to each other through light. Is this like a new Wi-Fi maybe or something? Or?
Yeah, the computers talk to the cells via light. So
So if I turn the lights out, they can't talk? Is that?
In our bioreactors, if you switch the lights off, then you only have one directional communication.
Oh, okay.
You still have the sensors that are telling you what's going on, but you don't have a way for the machines to communicate with the cells.
What is it like Ghostbusters, where if I cross the beams, bad things happen? Doing a Ghostbusters.
It is a great question. If you cross the beams, great things happen. So we can actually use we can use different colors of light to control different things. So
really,
you can have one light, like for example, you can have one light sensitive protein that is activated by blue light controlling one process, and a second light sensitive protein activated by green light controlling a second process, and then a third light sensitive protein controlled by red light controlling a third process. So scientists call this orthogonal control. It basically means you can control multiple things independently.
Can we control my girlfriend? No, I'm just kidding.
Like I said at the beginning, mind control in mice using light has already been demonstrated. But it is currently illegal and unethical to do this on humans. I get investors asking me frequently, it's like, can I use this on my kids? I'm like, no, I don't recommend it.
Employees? Yeah. Could you make me like a blue pizza? Can you make me pizza? I mean, is that possible to make pizza?
I mean, pizza's made out of cells. Yeah. Right? So it's like there's lots of different forms of cells there. So you have the cow cells in the meat. You have the plant cells in the dough. So pizza's not a super good early application. One, because it's complicated. So there's lots of different types of cells, and it's not very expensive So we look for applications where there's initially only one type of cell involved, and the thing that it makes is very high value, which is why we produce drugs that can cure diseases with these protein therapeutics. But eventually, as the technology matures, we'll make cheaper and cheaper things. So that's a long-winded way of saying, yes, long-term, you'll be able to make pizza with optogenetic biomanufacturing.
Dude, especially if you can make like your favorite pizza, right? Because like think of the money you save on DoorDash, eh? You wouldn't have to have food flavoring anymore,
But you want an at-home bioreactor.
I do. I want one.
This is good. This is a customer discovery.
Can I put this in my basement?
I'll add you to the list.
This is one of those IBM moments where that one guy, Watson or whatever, he's like, "There's no reason anybody needs to have a personal computer in a home." Well, you're wrong. I want a bioreactor. Right next to the microwave. You probably can't sit it too close to the microwave. That might be a bad idea. But, next to my espresso machine, you got the full utility of kitchenware there.
So what we'll be able to hook you up with eventually is, you'll have your bioreactor, and then you'll have a little freezer full of different frozen bioreactor cells. Mm-hmm. And then you'll be able to choose, what do you want? Is it a bluefin tuna? Is it a Wagyu? Is it a plant cell? And then you can have a little library of frozen cells. You put it into the bioreactor, and then you make what you want.
Like a Big Mac or something. You don't have to go to McDonald's. You have to drive over there. You just make a Big Mac at home and be like, it's a Big Mac.
I mean, we'll start by you just make the patty, That's a good start.
Yeah. I mean, it might be taken. There's a lot that goes into a Big Mac, so
yeah. We want high value, low complexity to start, Chris.
Oh well, that's not the Big Mac.
That's not the Big Mac.
According to court, there's a Franken meat in there of some type, but no one knows.
But what, like cancer drugs? That's a pretty high value.
Yeah, solving Alzheimer's maybe, or brother brain diseases, MS or something maybe.
I mean, people are developing protein therapeutics for all sorts of diseases right now. It's actually quite an exciting time.
Lyme disease would be a big one that would help a lot of people out, because that thing's such a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And so you guys are you guys kind of on the cutting edge of this? Is there a lot of other people in this field doing it?
We created the field of optogenetic biomanufacturing, and we're at the bleeding edge of this.
Wow, that is wild.
This field is also like another name that people use for it is synthetic biology. So it's basically the idea of taking biology and adding in a bunch of stuff to make it do stuff that it wouldn't normally do.
So are you appearing on the shows to raise awareness? Or are you looking for investors, or what are you guys hoping to achieve?
Just here to have a fun conversation with you. Help you grow some kidneys.
Let me grow that third nut, maybe some breasts or something. I don't know. I never leave the house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going out into the world trying to raise awareness about this, trying to educate people about this. Mm-hmm. We are obviously constantly onboarding more customers and investors, and
I bet investors love this sort of stuff. This is the future, eh?
Yeah, we've got some amazing investors. I'm here to try and educate people.
Don't go on Twitter, because there's no hope there.
Anyway. I'm actually not on Twitter. I only use LinkedIn.
we do a lot of Twitter abuse, callback jokes on the show. It's fun, to kick it. Anyway, I should call it X when I abuse it, and then call it Twitter when I love on it, because it's still Twitter to me, or it will always be Twitter to me. What haven't we talked about that maybe we should make people aware of what you guys are doing, or this technology's doing, how it might change their life?
Yeah, I mean, if you are if you're listening to this, you're in the pharmaceutical industry and you want to make biological drugs, definitely get in touch. You can follow me on LinkedIn, or you can go through our website. Mm-hmm. If you're just part of the general public and you're interested in this stuff, I have a book coming out about biomanufacturing. It's going to be probably at some point in the next 2 years or so. And you can follow me on LinkedIn if you're interested in that. And if you want to work in biomanufacturing, then we have periodically new jobs posted on our website, so you can keep an eye out.
This sounds like it might be a fun industry to work in.
It is a fun industry to work in.
Yeah, especially if I can figure out how to build me a new girlfriend.
It's difficult and rewarding.
Couple of them. Yeah. Well, this is the future, man. That's just crazy, man. It's what's going on, man. I remember the days when computers had to talk to each other through wires, eh? So, I mean, that would be really cool, especially if, like, I don't know, you could have network in your home where instead of having everything plugged in on stupid wires, or you just
yeah. So to be clear, the computers are still talking to each other with wires. The light is the light is used to go between the cells and the computers.
Yeah. See, this is too much for my primitive man to fully grasp. I'll have to watch the show a couple times just to understand what happened here. That or I'll hire someone to explain it to me. So, what was he saying?
We have some good explainer videos on our website if you want to watch those.
There you go. No, but this is cool, man. I'm excited about the future. I mean, I've always wondered why we can't have reprintable body organs, and why we just can't be parted out like a Chevy car. You can be like, hey, I got a bad brain, or I got a bad kidney, or got a bad toe. Yep. We just get a replacement part in here, screw that baby on. You know.
That's absolutely the future that we're heading towards.
Yeah, duct tape it up and go.
Hopefully, no duct tape.
Well, I mean,
we can use You
don't want it to fall.
Cellular duct tape.
Cellular duct tape. Yeah. Well, AI and this sort of stuff. Wow, the future's coming, man. It's like the George Jetsons are here. Was it George Jetson? The Jetsons are here, man. The future coming. And so, is this thing going to be pretty normalized? Maybe 5, 10 years, 20 years from now?
What's that look like? I believe that all biomanufacturing will eventually become optogenetic. I've been saying that for 7 years, and initially people didn't believe me, and now 7 years later, a lot of people have started believing me, and we have some major players that have started saying that. I think with all these big shifts, it goes from naive and impossible to trivial over time.
That is crazy, dude. That is wild. So, would you call it like the bioreactor you have to utilize? Is that like basically a 3D printer for cells? If I'm simplifying it, obviously.
Yeah. So there's actually, I'll just show you a picture. There's lots of different types of hardware that you can use for different things, but
like my girlfriend says.
This is a 10-liter optogenetic bioreactor.
Holy crap!
This is like
that is one hell of a toilet right there. Wow, that thing. That thing looks like if I get near it, it's going to time warp me into another black hole or some shit.
Well, this is like a 50-liter version, and we have 200.
This is like something I would see in movies, man.
Yeah, so
Spielberg came up with.
So we have different pieces of hardware to do different things. So if you wanted to do like tissue patterning, for example, that's a different piece of hardware to if you just want to grow and make some drugs. So here's an example of like cells that have been patterned with light. So, you can take some cells, hit them with one color of light, push them in one direction, take other cells, hit them with a different color of light, push them in a different direction. So you can start creating these like bespoke patterns. This is how we would make tissues eventually.
I was going to say, that kind of looks like your logo, right?
It is our logo.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. That's convenient. Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. I had a thought, and I don't remember what it was, but it was probably just a bad joke. They're all bad. So it's a low bar. So as we go out, anything more you want to talk to us or tease out to us? Anything more we should know about this technology?
No, I think if you want to learn more, the resources are our website, LinkedIn, and I have a personal website that's coming out that's going to have all of this stuff. That's DennisKent.com. It's currently password protected, but it will become live to the public in a couple of weeks' time.
This would be fun. You guys need a YouTube or TikTok channel where you're like, hey, we're going to throw some in the toilet bowl lighter thing that we got here and watch what happens, eh? But it'd be cool to watch. They're like, hey, they just made a blue pizza out of nothing and saved me $40 from DoorDash. How about teleporting? If it talks to light, can we make teleporting work in this somehow? Like Star Trek?
Yeah, we don't. We're not doing teleporting.
Damn it.
Yeah, that is beyond the scope of prolific. You're gonna need some like some pretty strong like space-time bending machines.
Or those pods from The Fly that what's his face had. That one movie, The Fly. Remember that? He had those pods.
we just make stuff with cells, Chris. So burgers, drugs,
humans are cells. So are flies, evidently. Yeah. So, well, this will be cool. Anything that can save me DoorDash money and have to go to Starbucks. You can just pour me a coffee here. Tastes like Starbucks.
Yeah, I'll add you on the wait list for our at-home bioreactor solution.
Put me on the body improvement list. I want to set up boobs and I want to look like Ron Jeremy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to look like Ron Jeremy, but I think we all get that joke.
This has been fun, Chris.
Thank you. Well, that's what we do. We have some fun with technology because I don't understand anything we just said. So we're gonna get done with this show.
Not even the new girlfriend.
I understand that part, but I told you could stay for 2 weeks until this new thing comes out, and then you gotta go. Anyway, sorry, she's bugging me again. Anyway, well, thank you very much for coming on, Dennis. This is going to be really cool to see, and sounds like some really amazing technology in the future. I hope I'm alive for it to see it. Maybe it helps keep me alive, so I can see more. Yeah, thank you. Hey, is there any way we can use this to help make my video gameplay better? Like I can cheat on Call of Duty or anything with this stuff?
I mean, if you don't mind me like putting a laser in your brain and genetically engineering neurons.
Hey, if that'll increase my kill to death ratio on Warzone, that's worth it. Or if I could just walk around and kill stupid people with my laser shooting at my brain, oh, that'd be great. Every time I meet someone stupid, I'd just be like, hold still. Kind of like that. What was that one movie with the MIB, Men in Black? And they had that one thing that go and erase your memory. I could have that. That would be good for girlfriends too. Anyway, see if you can look into that technology. Anyway, thank you very much, Dennis, for coming on the show. It's been fun to have you. Give us your .coms as we go out.
Yeah, it'll be prolific-machines.com, Dennis Kent and Prolific Machines on LinkedIn. And then my personal website, it will be denniskent.com, no dash, DENIZKENT.
Well, this will be fun.
Yeah, Prolific Machines is PROLIFIC-machines.
All right, sounds good then.
Cool.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, man.
Bye.
All right, and thanks so much for tuning in. Refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives, or else go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Did he just threaten us? Facebook.com/Chris Voss, YouTube.com/Chris Voss. You guys know the drill. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And then the light robots are. I don't know what I can't. I don't have a joke here. Anyway, stay safe, or else. Bye. That was a lot of